Right, so I'm just having a little stroll here. It'll be dark in an hour. I just want to gather some ingredients for another soup, and of course everyone will be familiar with dandelion leaves, but also this plant here called plantain. That's broadleaf plantain. There is a narrower leaved plantain, and depending on what books and things you read and what sources you read online, people rave about plantain like some sort of wonder food. I don't get involved in that. I don't make any claims about the value of such things. All I know is they're edible, and like most edible things, most of them are good for you. You know, if you dispute that green food and fruit isn't good for anyone. So I'm going to collect some dandelion leaves, and I happen to know that further up the lane here there's a lot of the plantain. So I'm going to make another soup, plantain and dandelion leaf soup. So I'm going to collect about 250-300 grams of dandelion leaf, about twice that in plantain leaf, and that'll all be going in with a kilo or just over a kilo of potatoes. So I'll just gather a few of those. Just these things, I'll give them a good wash when I get home. A few dandelion leaves in there. I'll collect a few more yet. But while I'm here, I'm just going to look at these big plantain leaves. That's there is the flower stalk, and this broadleaf plantain. That's the little bit of weed there. That's the leaf, that one there as well. So put those in. I've got quite a few of these. Nice leaves there. Right, back again, ladies and gents. I went out earlier, of course, and collected some plantain leaves. Broadleaf plantain, as I mentioned before. There's a narrow leaf one, but I didn't collect any of those, not so many of them on the bank. And collected a few dandelions as well, so they're going in. As always, my recipe is a little bit ad hoc, as it were. So I'm generally using, I've got some potatoes here, small ones here. I'm going to chop these up. Here's the base, of course. I didn't have time to collect any wild garlic today, so unusually I'm using a proper onion, which a medium-sized onion there. All in, I had an idea in my head before, maybe 500 grams of plantain and maybe 250 grams of dandelion, that type of thing, kilo of spuds. But the way it's worked out, I'm looking at the size of these leaves, some really big leaves here, and I thought, yeah, I'll just basically grab what I can and just make up about 500 grams of vegetable matter. So that's what's going into the soup. So I'll be blending that in a bit. But, I'm just going to chop up some of these potatoes. I'm going to boil them for about 20 minutes, soften them up a bit, and then I'll be adding the leaves. Give them 5 minutes or so, and then a lot will be going in the blender. So that's essentially it. Pretty much the same as I always do here. Nothing different really this time. Just pretty much the onion and the type of plant I'm going to turn into a soup to flavour the soup. And this is actually a very common garden weed. As I mentioned earlier, people rave about it. It's supposed to be really good, beneficial, health benefits and all that. And it's probably true, but I can't endorse that. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, just do a little bit of research online. There's plenty of stuff on there about health benefits of all sorts of wild edibles. And although many plants are edible, wild plants, there's not a great amount, and I've actually had a lot of research into them. The most intensive one I've seen lately is hawthorn. There's a lot of research going into hawthorn. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful compounds being isolated, and obviously it's good for you, but I don't think they actually realise just how useful some of these compounds are. I imagine some of them are actually even new. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with these, and when they're all done, we'll get them in a pan, get them on the boil. Tackle this onion now. Most of the year when I'm making these little concoctions, I wouldn't normally use onions. In the early spring, of course, there's plenty of wild garlic leaves. Bit of a misnomer, that name, garlic. It's called wild garlic, of course, but in fact wild garlic's an onion, an allium, a member of the onion family. And it's a great substitute for these. I have no problem with it at all. I get through tons of them. Eat lots of them in the spring. You can use the leaves. The bulbs aren't much cop at that point. Once the leaves come out, the bulbs go a bit soft and shrink in some cases, and then when the leaves fade, the bulbs plump up again. I'll pop all these in here. In the spuds. I'm going to cover that with about 2 litres of water, and that should boil down then to about 1.5 litres, and then of course the greenery goes in, boil that for 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 at the most, because you don't really want to destroy the nutrients through boiling it too much. And then put it all through the blender. Just pop this on the stove now, and bring it to the boil, and I'll boil it for 20 minutes. These have been boiling now for 15 minutes. So I'm just going to drop some of this in. I'll break these leaves a little bit. Goes in. Scabby that one. These in. Let's get this back on the go. I'm just going to scoop some of this out now into here, collect the juice in the pan underneath, get in the blender, add some of the juice, and I'll start blitzing it. And a quick blast. Put it all back in the bowl now. Give it a little bit of a stir, mix it up. It's well, quite nice that. Put another blast on the stove now, and 10 minutes, and it'll be done. Nice smell coming off it. There we go. Finished product there. So I've come back to this little spot here because a few days ago I noticed all the heather coming into flower. So there's a bit of heather there. Still starting to come into flower. August is usually the month where you see the hillsides, the mountainsides blazing purple. You know, the flowers, the heather. I'm just looking up there, the open moorland up there, and the sun's sort of in my eyes at the moment, but it's all purple. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to collect some of this heather blossom, and have a bit of heather tea, wash down my plantain soup, which I'm either boiling up later on a little open fire or on my stove. It just depends on the circumstances. Different types of heather. You can see here this is ling, the common one, covers most of the moorlands. But there's another one here. Different species again. One of the bell heathers. They all do the same thing. You can mix and match. They all work equally well. So I'm just going to pick some of this. You can see this the heather there and the leaves. It doesn't matter you get leaves or the flower in, but basically it just comes off like that and you get left with this sort of stuff. And for a good mug of tea, probably equivalent to about 2 tablespoonfuls, and you let that soak for about 10 minutes. So we'll just get a bit more. more than enough there for my needs. So that'll do the trick. A nice handful there. Back to the fire spot. Got my pans here, and then that one's for the water when I have my head of tea, firelight and stuff in there. Pan for my soup, mug of course. That's the soup. I've brought it in this water bottle, handy actually. So it's a bit, a little bit thick actually, so I'll put a bit of water in out the stream behind me. And of course, here's the header and a little bit of bread. A couple of crusts and a couple of slices of bread I brought from home. Nice. Put this in the pan. There you go, that's the soup. So a little smidgen of water in this out the stream, then I'll put on the fire. As you can see, the soup's boiling away nicely there. It's hot enough now. It's just been about 10 minutes since I put it on the fire, so that's worked out fine. Yeah, job done. While I'm scoffing on this plantain, I'll just boil up some water for the head of tea. My usual ad hoc measurements. Couple of handfuls. Yeah, it's just come up to the boil now. I won't boil it as such because, as I say, it destroys nutrients. So I'll just take it off the fire now and let it cool down for 10 minutes and stew. As soon as I whiffed that then, it reminded me of heather flavoured beer. The first thing that came into my head then. So, just decant some of this off now. until next time, ladies and gents, thank you.